It was another really windy day when I made this video, so I'm just going to talk over the wind that was on the microphone. Here I'm setting out some temporary electric fence posts. I'm just stepping them into the ground. And what I'm doing is I'm creating about a 1 acre paddock to allow the cows to come in to the right of the camera. That section of grass has come up pretty well, and that's because in the past few years I've fed a few round bales of hay around this light pole that you can see there on the kind of the right side of the screen. And so there's a little bit more nutrients in the ground in that area, and the grass has done a little bit better. I'll show here in a little bit the blade length. I think it was around 6 inches. And from what I read, you can start grazing ryegrass when the grass is between 4 to 6 inches long. So I let the cows in after I run this poly wire through these temporary fence posts and let the cows have a few hours of grazing some nice green grass. So here I'm taking a ruler and pushing it down into the grass and placing some of the blades of grass up against the ruler to get a measurement. And this area here measured out at about 6 inches long, which is a good level to go ahead and get the cows out there and get them started grazing on it. I don't want to graze it too low, so I need to pull them off as soon as it looks like it's getting grazed down to 2 or 3 inches. Here I'm carrying the polyrope wire in my hand and I'm running it through the eyelets. I think they call these pigtails on those little step-in posts. And I've got the polyrope on a wire reel back at the permanent fence line, and it's just unrolling as I walk with it. And you can see here in this section of field that I'm in, it's just not as lush as the other area that I was using with the ruler. Like I was saying, this section of field is just not quite as fertile. The ryegrass has sprouted, but it just needs a little bit more time. It'll definitely pop probably once we get the spring flush. So here's my Polyrope wire reel. It's a Gallagher geared reel, and I've got it strung up with Gallagher turbo wire. And here I'm just trying to figure out for the first time how to energize the reel and Polyrope turbo wire and also get the string tight at the same time. So a little bit of a learning curve this first round, but I got it. So here I'm going to touch the little hook there to the permanent electric fence. It's energized now, but then I realize right here that it's touching up against that corner brace. So I slide it down just a little bit to make sure it's not grounded out. And here's my electric fence tester. I stick this probe into the ground, which grounds the tester, and then touch it up against the polyrope wire to see that it's registering. And it's showing 7.8, which is 7,800 volts. So this paddock is ready to go, ready to put the cows over here and let them start eating. first electric paddock that I've made. And like I said, it kind of goes behind this telephone pole and connects up to about the tree line. And there's not a whole lot of forage here, but it's green and the cows will enjoy it. And I'm still feeding hay, but I just saw how tall this little section is here. I thought might as well go ahead and treat the cows to a nice breakfast this morning. Okay, I have just pulled the cows off of this little, it's about a half-acre paddock, and I pulled up all the stakes and rewound the electric fence. They were on this paddock for probably 4 hours, and they grazed it down pretty good. Here's a little area they didn't hit too hard, but they did hit. Let's see, some of the blades are still probably 3 inches in that area, but most of it's probably down to 2 inches. So this area here, right in here where they were at, now matches the rest of the pasture. So we'll keep them off of here until the rest of it starts growing, and we'll do this again once it's high again.